Frag Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, baby, for another episode of a Frag Radio. And here with you on this fine evening are your boys, Pradius
and J Ray.
And matter of fact.
Once again, alright, so Gamescom started up today. A lot of news came out, a lot of things going on, big times. But before we get into the news, first, we got to get those plugs out there. Got to do it. So, J-Ray, app number 1 on the list.
Game On.
And that's a Windows Phone.
Windows Phone.
Soon to be on iOS.
By Underground Studios. Good app. Catch it on Windows 8.
Boom. Free. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a nice app.
And don't forget World of Game News.
Yeah,
World of Video Game News.
That's on Android.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's by Destroidy. Good company.
They got all them sources up on
big time app we're on. We also got Xbox One News.
Xbox One News.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Game News.
Mm-hmm. Xbox Game News. Yeah. We're on a few of them bad boys.
Forget Game RSS now.
That's right.
That's a big one right there.
Yeah, and there's 2 different versions of that guy.
Oh yeah, the OL and the Lite.
Yeah.
You gotta download both of them janks just cause.
Yeah, that Game RSS made by Black Air. Oh man, Xbox One News is made by Hoek Software. All those are on Android. Mm-hmm. So Game On, I know we've been saying it, but it's actually coming to iOS now. It's in the final stages. The app is actually complete. It's
actually complete.
Test phase to the point where it's going up live on iOS.
It's going up and it ain't going back down.
And also
going up on Happy Gamer soon.
Yep, exciting news. It'll be on Happy Gamer, which will be on 2 platforms, iOS and Android. So
it's also on Windows 8.
Not on Windows 8 phones, so
yeah, but on regular Windows 8.
But then again, don't feel bad because nothing's on Windows 8 phones. So
yeah.
But yeah, glad to be working with Happy Gamer. It's exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff.
Super excited. And of
Shout
course,
to John over there.
Shout. And then of course, the usual, still on Stitcher Radio, and we just got on with TuneIn Radio, so you can catch us on there now as well.
All the podcast apps across all platforms.
Yep. And then on our own website, fragtagradio.com, got those reviews. We've been pumping out the reviews.
Yep.
Pumping out tons of reviews, our arcade games. Also on the Twitter at FragTagRadio. And then the big one this week is the YouTube. We finally got the YouTube up and running to a respectable point where we've got a good number of videos on there now.
We just need subscribers.
We'll be adding more, daily. Yeah, definitely need some subscribers. So jump on YouTube.
Because we got a lot of videos.
Don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button.
A lot of people on there. A lot of videos on there. And nobody to watch them.
That's what I'm saying. What's the point?
And also send us a voicemail or a text message.
Yep, that's 304 Talk FTR.
There it is.
Boom. All right. So, and with that, we are ready to roll on into the news. All right. So, big news there's a lot of big news today, but Sony announced the release date for the PlayStation 4.
Well, they did. Yep.
And that is November 15th in North America, 29th in Europe.
I'm guessing the 29th in Europe because, see, typically when you see a date like November 15th in the United States, that would lead to like a November 19th in Europe. My guess is that the reason we're seeing such a gap between the U.S. release and the European release, not really a huge gap, but like a 2-week gap, and that is so that they can have a large allocation for the U.S. release and then have an extra couple weeks to still meet demand in Europe. That's what it seems like to me.
Which makes sense.
I was expecting actually Sony to come out a little bit earlier.
Well, there was rumors it was going to be October
29th.
Right.
Because, see, when
but
Xbox...
I already knew that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. It was too soon.
Well, I think people were just going by the previous PlayStation releases.
People were thinking, oh, Xbox is going November. Sony's definitely going to go October because that'll put them out before.
Well, they were thinking that, plus all the other PlayStations have been released at the end of October. So they were thinking they would
stick with tradition.
That's right. But, the thing about it is that they actually never said November. They just said holiday, whereas Microsoft said November. So they were thinking the only way that Sony could be certain to beat Microsoft's date would be October.
And we could speculate all day long on why they chose this date. But I think the real question is, now that date's out there, when does Microsoft
that's a big question.
announce the launch for Xbox
I wrote an
One?
article about it, and I still believe it. They should release November 5th.
With Call of Duty?
With Call of Duty.
Do you think they're going to go with that, or do you think they're going to go Black Friday?
I don't think they're going to go Black Friday. No way. I think they want to hit the stores before Black Friday to get some advertising out before Black Friday. I think that it's going to sell on Black Friday anyway. You don't need to come out that day for it to sell that day. I think they go the week before Black Friday, or possibly the same exact day, November 15th.
You think so?
I'm not saying that's what I think. I'm just saying it's a possibility. I mean, now you're talking, if it's not Black Friday, then at least 3 other dates.
It should be the same day or sooner.
I believe it's going to be a week sooner, and I believe it's going to be the same day as Call of Duty.
I'm pretty sure the reason they didn't announce their date today was because they wanted to wait for Sony and hear what their date was going to be before saying theirs.
I honestly think they are going to release alongside Call of Duty and have Ghosts. I mean, you can read my article about it. It's an older article now on fragtagradio.com, but they announced today the Call of Duty Ghost bundle over in Europe. Yeah, Xbox One. Yeah, so there's no doubt in my mind that is the best option for them. Whether they'll go that route, I don't know. Especially if they do it with a bundle. Yeah. Now, because they actually asked them, they were like, is that bundle only for Europe? And they're like, we don't have any comment on that. We're only talking about Europe today. Which leads me to believe that there probably is going to be a bundle like that in the US. But even if they don't, they still will have tons of gamers in the store that will be able to buy the best version of the game they love on one platform, not two, because PlayStation 4 won't be out yet. Yeah. So you'll have some impulse buys if the allocations are available, saying, hey, I can get Xbox One right now and get an even better version of this game. Why am I going to buy the 360 version? But the downside to that is they might feel like they don't want the Call of Duty release to actually overshadow their console release, but I don't feel that that's the case at all. So, I mean, they would actually kind of coincide together and kind of work off of each other. Yeah. I personally think November 5th is the date, but this is interesting too. November 5th is a Tuesday. November 15th is 10 days later, which puts it at a Friday. Right. So we're actually going to be seeing Sony release on a Friday, not a Tuesday. Well, Friday is good because that gives people the weekend to play with the new console, working people. Yeah, so I mean, I think we're kind of just sitting here. Because I mean, let's be honest. Parents who are going to be buying this stuff are going to wrap it up, put it under the Christmas tree. They don't care what day it comes out, as long as they get it in time for Christmas. Yeah. The grown-ups, which means that the people that are buying this to play it on day one are the grown-ups who are gamers, and then most of them are working during the week. So releasing on Friday gives them the chance to play it over the weekend without having to take days off. It's just interesting because Friday is Nintendo's day, and Tuesday's always been everything else. And going on Friday is pretty soon. Nintendo's not even going to have a day anymore. Yeah. Well, I mean, Nintendo's just always released their stuff on Friday, which has always been weird to me anyway. But I think we're sitting here picking out Tuesdays for Xbox One to release, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a Tuesday. It could be a Monday. It could be tomorrow. I'd love it. I'd love it too. Unfortunately, it's not November yet. Unfortunately. All right, so Ubisoft Fighter Within coming as an Xbox One exclusive fighting game for the Kinect. Now, is this one going to be available at launch? Yes. The Fighter Within was on the launch list
So
and I would
maybe not launch day, but definitely launch window at the very least.
Well, if you IGN actually has a list of it says Xbox One launch.
Yeah. They announced the list of Gamescom, and all the sites published it.
Right. Yeah. So
but
that's.
I'm just wondering, is that a day one list? All those games day one, or is that launch window?
I thought they all were supposed to be day one.
Yeah, I mean that's what a launch game should be.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I know a lot of times, especially in past generations, there's been what people call a launch window, which is like a week or two, and all the games come out within that 2 week period.
They actually titled the article "Xbox One Day One Games," so it's going to be a day one game. It's on that list, so that
you'll be unleashing your fighter within on day one.
Right. Unfortunately, I think the last time they released a game like this is going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, like me, because I was one of the idiots that actually bought that game.
Yeah, but that was with the first Kinect. The game didn't even work. This one probably gonna be better. And then
well, there's no doubt it's gonna be better. It's just still.
I'm not gonna buy it.
Does that mean it's gonna be good though? You know.
I'm not gonna buy it. You know, just because I don't feel like doing karate in my living room. You know, if Solomon shows some interest, might get it from my son. That might be something he could get into.
Yeah, we still need to see how it really works.
Yeah. I mean, I could see him and Lucas chilling in the living room, punching and kicking around. Me and you, though, not so much.
Not so much, no.
You know what I mean?
I hear you on that. Yeah. So it's going to be just like all the other Kinect games. It's like just a certain niche.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and unfortunately, this is the only true Kinect game available at launch since Kinect Sports has been pushed back.
2014.
What's that?
That would be better
Just Dance 2014.
Oh my god. Oh, day one.
You know that's going to sell better than that. Fighter Within.
And, you know, Power Star Golf, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be one, but there's also Zumba Fitness, too. So there's a couple.
And you can bet your bottom dollar there's eventually going to be another Dance Central for this new Kinect, too.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Even though
what about that Fantasia Music Evolved? Is that day one?
No, it's not.
Oh, boo.
Keep my Mickey on.
That's what I'm saying, man. I was about to get my little wizard hat on, man.
A little robe.
It's about to be on. Alright, well, Diablo 3 got a little teaser site up hinting a possible expansion called Reaper of Souls. Not anything else is known about it. That's it.
Let's hope it comes out simultaneously.
That's it.
Just figure that we just list that one.
Just throw it out there.
Hopefully that it will release simultaneously
with
on
consoles, yes.
Since they're already going to have...
Because if it comes out for PC first, I'm going to be forced to get it for PC.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I got to play it.
This actually
have it.
This actually might be the incentive that people that have already played Diablo have to get it on consoles, because they'll have new content to play on console.
Yeah.
But my guess is...
It would have been even sweeter if they had waited a little bit on Diablo and launched it with this expansion and then released the expansion on PC the same day they launched the console game. But who am I?
Who are you?
Nobody.
Oh.
Oh. All right, so before Gamescom this past week or two, we heard some more news about more changing policies with the Xbox, some more information. Number one, the big thing, they changed it around. Kinect is not required to function. You can actually not even plug it in at all if you don't want to.
Another policy change.
And me and you were talking about this. Pretty much saying that they should have stuck to their guns on this policy.
There's a couple policies they should have stuck to their guns on, but that's another conversation that I don't feel like getting into right now. But yeah, they should have stuck to their guns.
Out of all the policies, I think this was the biggest one, because for people to really see the potential of the new Kinect and know how awesome it is and enjoy it, it would have needed to have been a requirement. Also, now since it's not a requirement, now granted everybody else will have one because they are still packing it in every box, so developers have the guarantee that it's going to be there, but they no longer have the guarantee it's going to be plugged in.
So it's still an option for them.
And, well, the people that bought Kinect before and ended up not playing it might not even give it a chance. They might take it out of
since they already have it,
what I'm saying is they might take it out of the box and just throw it aside.
I'm guessing people who are interested in Kinect in the first place, they'll give it a chance. My guess is the hardcore gamers who have been telling Microsoft from the beginning to take the Kinect out the box, then I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are going to set it aside. And even half of them are probably going to secretly plug it in late at night one night when no one else is around.
Try it.
And check it out.
Yeah.
And just not tell anybody about it. Yeah.
I mean,
We see you.
it's
We know what you're about.
it's a difference. It's a difference though, plugging it in one time, checking it out, and then leaving it plugged in. You know, and that's what people aren't going to do. I mean, I will still. I want the features
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to get, but
I'm looking forward to it.
there's going to be a lot of people, especially the people that were complaining about privacy issues, that just aren't going to have it plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put a little
And then when they
tape over that,
and then
drape
when-
a towel over it.
Then when they go play a game, are they going to get up off the couch and plug their Kinect in every time?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Well, that's another cool thing about the Kinect is with the Kinect plugged in, you don't have to get up off your couch and hit the button on the Xbox and on your controller to sync it. The Kinect automatically knows you have the controller in your hand and syncs it up automatically.
Yeah, it reads that if you look at the controller around the guide button, which isn't even a button no more, it's flat. It's actually a clear red box, and the Kinect actually can read. That box is for the Kinect. It works.
Yeah, it is.
It works identical to the Sony to the PlayStation controller. They both serve the same purpose, so that the camera can read the controller at all times. So they're tied together, and you don't even need a sync button no more. You know.
Nope.
Like,
good to go.
Like say you have an Xbox, you have two Xbox Ones, one in this one, one in that one, and like Solomon has his controller upstairs, and he wants to bring that controller down and play with it. You don't have to do.
He can do
anything. You don't have to do anything.
Just sit right down, Kinect, be like, oh, there's Solo. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Buddy?
Ready to go. I'm just having some fun. All right, Black Ops 2 Apocalypse DLC.
Fan mails.
Yeah, we will.
No sync button, though. That's all I care about.
Don't be hating on my whoop. Anyways, Black Ops 2 got some DLC coming, for those who didn't know. And this is actually called the Apocalypse DLC.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
You've got 4 maps coming, plus a new zombie map. Now, who didn't see a new zombie map coming, huh? I think everybody knew it was coming. We just didn't know what it was going to be. This one's called Origins, and it's taking you back to the beginning, like when the outbreak first started with the original zombies characters.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be one of those offs like they did with the Alcatraz thing, where you're playing as Mike Madison and Ray Liotta, or the one from the first Black Ops where you're playing as those zombie people.
Zombie,
Some people.
Those people. It's just so memorable.
Who was the one chick was like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer chick?
Oh yeah, and it wasn't like Freddy the Krueger in one of them.
No,
I couldn't remember.
No, it was George Romero was the big bad guy who was walking around.
That's what I was thinking of. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it is what it is. So we got the 4 maps. You got Pod, a failed utopian community from the 70s that has left stacks of dilapidated residential pods nestled into an abandoned side of a cliff in Taiwan. Its residents long gone, the modernist compound now hosts frantic combat as players must run atop the pods as well as navigate their multi-tiered interiors for a strategic edge. Now that sounds badass. Frost. Fresh snow meets explosive gunpowder on snow-capped European city where the bridge over a frozen canal separates it to 2 sides, requiring players to employ multi-level traversal strategies to outsmart and ultimately outshoot their enemies. Then you got Takeoff. This one's a stadium, which is sort of like a spin on the original Black Ops map. It's called Stadium. Marooned in the middle of Pacific Ocean. This is like a missile launch facility, but it's floating in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. This one actually looked really cool. Probably my favorite out of all of them. I also like the way the one that pod one looked too.
That looked really
that one looked pretty cool. And the last one is Dig. This is like an archaeological dig site.
Yeah.
This one looked pretty cool too.
Yeah.
The only one that I would say wasn't really getting my Phoenix Rising was Frost. Just like your average city with some snow in it. I don't know.
Never been a big fan of snow maps.
No?
Just never really have.
Didn't like Avalanche and Gears of War 2?
No. They all seem like they're so similar.
They are.
feel like once you've had one, you've had them all.
Once you've had snow once, that's all you need.
It's just all that white.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of Call of Duty. Oh, man. We got those limited edition Turtle Beach headsets coming for in unison with Call of Duty Ghosts. You didn't see this coming?
No way.
Yes.
Are
yes.
you kidding me?
I'm dead
Call of
serious.
Duty headsets? Thinks Turtle Beach.
I mean, first time for everything.
Man. Go out and pre-order one this time. Join my other 6.
Oh, you got them all.
I ain't got a single one that's going to stay that way.
Oh, yeah. This one's got the skull on the side, yo, on the earpiece.
Blue highlights?
Yeah, come on now. All right, well, anyways, just like usual, they got like 3 different versions of it. You got the cheaper $100 version, the $200 version, and the $300 version. So do with that what you will.
Walk by it in the store.
Well, if you already got some Turtle Beaches, why would you feel the need to buy a new pair?
That's what I mean, you know.
That's for like the hardcore Call of Duty
I'm gonna
fans.
need to buy a new pair. I got the PX5.
I'm gonna be sitting down playing Call of Duty Ghosts with my Call of Duty Ghost controller, my Call of Duty Ghost headset. I'm gonna have my Call of Duty Ghost T-shirt on, yo. It's going down. It's going
And
down.
I'm gonna be wearing my Call of Duty night vision goggles. And
Oh yeah, from that Prestige Edition. That's right.
but
That's right. Got that Black Ops pin. I'm gonna pin it on my T-shirt, yo.
we're all gonna have to buy new headsets, though, technically soon, unless.
I'll probably just stick with the one that's packed in with the console for a little while, and then. But
chat headset. Yeah,
I will eventually get some
I mean,
Turtle Beaches.
you'll want a stereo headset. I'd imagine at some point. I know I will.
Well, it's just like I've got the Turtle Beaches I have now, and like they usually end up just sitting there by my TV. I don't usually ever end up putting them on.
Now, the one problem that I had was
but see, I could see you do it because you play a lot of single player games.
Yeah.
Where me, I'm multiplayer, and like I don't know, I move my head around a lot, and the shit gets heavy after a while.
Damn.
And I don't know, but like, but like. And in contrast to that, if I'm gonna throw in some Alan Wake, then the Turtle Beaches are going on because I want that full, surround
It's
sound
funny you
effect.
said that though, because the times I use them the most are when I play
Call of Duty, so you can hear that shot coming from the side.
Well,
that's
I mean,
footsteps walking up.
that's
why
not
I
even
use stuff
really
that much
why
better.
I use it. It's just because I like to have the game and the voice, the chatting going on in one headset.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to rush out and get it as soon as I get my consoles or anything. I'm just saying down the line I'm going to get a new headset.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'll get one. The question is, how much will I use it?
Yeah.
You get one, Matt?
Probably not.
You ain't getting this Call of Duty Ghost jank.
No.
The $300 jank.
No, I'll walk by them. Like they just walk right by. I'm shaking my head at people.
Missing out, y'all. Missing out. Castlevania. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate HD coming to 360 and PS3. This was actually a DS, 3DS game that they're bringing to consoles. They're doing this with more and more games lately. First we had Resident Evil Revelations.
Well,
and now this one, and I welcome them. You know,
'cause they're good
bring
games.
over the 3DS version of Mario and Zelda while you're at it.
I
Please
think
do.
I think that what's open to the door to that is a lot more powerful gaming handheld gaming consoles. To where the bridge between them is smaller, so they're actually worth.
You bring them to consoles, and they actually don't look that much worse.
Right. I mean, you imagine bringing out
Revelations look. I mean, it's no graphical powerhouse, but it looks great on the consoles.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, the God of War games that came out on the PSP got.
Oh yeah, so was it Chains of Olympus?
Chains of Olympus.
That game
and
looked awesome.
Ghost of Sparta. They were the two best PSP games that I played, and they actually.
I also liked Resistance: Fall of Man. I think it was called Fall.
Fall of Man's the first Resistance. Your Retribution or
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah. That's the one that I have PSP.
I didn't play that one, but I did.
It was I.
They released the God of War games for PSP on PS3 and the HD versions of them, and they weren't bad, but you imagine some of the early Game Boy games getting ported over or something. Oh Lord,
yeah,
those are the state.
No.
Well, and what boggles the mind with me is now Nintendo's come out with the XL version of the 3DS, right? Yeah. And they didn't take that opportunity to add in the other joystick.
Oh, yeah.
They're still making you buy a Circle Pad Pro.
Yeah,
it's such a crock.
It was obviously a mistake with the 3DS. You figure you would learn from that and fix it with the next iteration. But no, we would like to gouge you for some extra money because the Wii U's not selling well, so we need that extra dough. So we'll just sell you a Circle Pad Pro with that.
To me, it seems like, how much before the Vita did the 3DS come out? What, about 6 months?
Well, and because it's not on there and it's a peripheral, not as many developers, utilize it.
Yeah.
If they had put it on there, more developers would utilize it, which would in turn make 3DS games 10 times better.
Yeah, it would.
I was talking to you. I cannot imagine what I did before Right Stick. Like, I know I played GoldenEye like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And I know I somehow managed with that.
We used the what are they called, the C buttons?
C buttons, and
C buttons.
C was target lock or
But,
something like that.
Yeah, but there was also, didn't you have to use the triggers to turn?
I think you did. Like, one of them was strafing, like, left and right.
Yeah.
It's on different planes,
Yeah. I mean, I cannot imagine that anymore.
Yeah.
Plus controls were inverted.
And I know you had said you played some PSP games when you had your PSP that were shooters, and you had to use the trigger buttons to turn and stuff too. You were telling me.
that Resistance game we were just talking about,
and Killzone.
You used the left joystick to walk forward, backwards, left, strafe, left to right, and you used the actual face buttons to aim your gun around.
Oh, see, God, I cannot imagine that, man.
Yeah.
SOCOM was like that on there.
And then the right bumper was to shoot, and I think the left one was to reload or something like that. Oh, it's been a while.
So that's so alien now, but that's just growing up.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
You make do with what you have.
That's right.
And back then it was great.
Yeah,
it's just once the right stick came along, it was just like,
you sit here and you're like, wow, how did we do any of this? And then you go over to Matt's house and play Combat on the Atari 2600, and it all comes back to you in half a second.
Yes, it does.
The horse racing game from television. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That shit was fun.
Yeah.
You had fun playing.
Yeah, I won too.
But he did, damn it.
You got Steve-O though.
Yeah, who does?
I knew.
Lobo. All right. Thief got that official launch date, February 25th in North America.
It's looking good too.
It's looking great.
Looking
really great. And I was a big fan of Thief on the PC back in the day.
Is it just me, or does it really remind you of Dishonored?
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, the
like
whole
the
feel, man, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing.
It almost looks like what was it? Arcane Studios. What?
That's who made Dishonored.
Yeah, it almost looks like they made the damn game.
Yeah, it really does. And that's, like I said, that's a good thing, But man, I unlike you, I never was really familiar with the Thief. I knew what it was, but I never played them. And
well, you've never been like a huge PC gamer either.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not at all. Not even a small PC gamer. There's only a handful of PC games I've ever played. Yeah. What King's Quest? Remember that? King's Quest 4, Air Today, Gone Tomorrow. Sierra used to make some good games, and I used to play those. And then
Tony La Russa Baseball 2.
Yeah, there's been a couple, but I've just, like you said, it's just not been my forte. I've always been a console gamer, so
yeah, for sure. All right, so there you have it, February 25th for Thief. That's all we got. Persona 4 Arena getting a sequel, and anyone who's listened to the show before knows that I really enjoyed that game. If you like Street Fighter, Blaze Blue, then you will like Persona 4 Arena. If you haven't played it, I suggest you go out and get the regular Persona 4 Arena right now.
A lot of signs pointing towards a new Persona game altogether.
Which would be great because it's an RPG, and we need more RPGs. Because it almost seems like
traditional RPG.
At the beginning of this generation, we had tons of traditional JRPGs. Mm-hmm. You had the Star Ocean, Lost Odyssey, Magna Carta,
Blue Dragon,
Resonance of Fate, Blue
Dragon. Let me ask you
this.
Does Microsoft still own the rights to Shenmue? They had for Shenmue 2, they released it on the original Xbox, and they had bought the rights to publish the game. And I wonder...
If they do, they need to utilize it.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm wondering, do they have those rights? And if they do, why not subcontract that out to a great studio and let them get that out there? Seems to me like that'd be a game changer for traditional gamers.
Yeah.
You just put the name Shenmue out there, and that's up there with like the greatest RPGs of all time.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm surprised that Sega doesn't own that.
Well,
That's
the
what I was thinking.
Sega made the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Xbox bought the rights to I don't know if they bought the rights to publish it on the original Xbox,
Yeah,
Shenmue
yeah.
2.
Yeah.
And, we all of a sudden we hadn't heard anything about it
Doesn't
anymore.
mean anything, yeah.
Maybe they have a thing where Sega has to develop it if it's made, but it cannot come out on any other console but a Microsoft because they have the right to publish it. So,
You know what we need is another Jade Empire.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
BioWare is there. Why did they never explore that again?
Yeah. Well, now that BioWare is owned by EA, there's no chance of that happening. But then again, Microsoft and EA have been really good partners lately.
They might.
I mean, you've got all this exclusive stuff from their games coming to Xbox. You've got Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare and Peggle 2 exclusive to Xbox.
The recently announced FIFA 14 coming
Yeah.
with Xbox One in Europe.
Yeah. Plus the Ultimate Team Legends stuff, all exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm not a big soccer fan, but the Legends thing sounds pretty big. Like
They've been doing it with Madden for a while, where you can get the legendary players on Madden, but they've never done it with FIFA. So, and now it works. It's a good idea.
Definitely. All right, but yeah, so Persona 4, it's a lot like Blaze Blue. If you've played Blaze Blue, you know what to go and expecting. It's really awesome. And if you've played Persona 4, you like the RPG, and you also like those type of fighters, you'll definitely like it because it's got all the characters that you know and love from the regular game, and it plays a lot like Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting a sequel. So looking forward to that. Payday 2 getting 5 DLC packs in the next coming year.
Now, Payday wasn't that a PlayStation exclusive downloadable title?
It was.
It was.
PC and PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and
I was jealous of that too.
Payday
Awesome.
2 now is going to be a full retail release for,
It's already out.
Yeah, it came out today.
It came out today?
It came out last week.
Oh, did it?
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. But, I never even played the first one. But I heard some good things about it,
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about it.
From the reviews I've read, they're saying that it's a good game. I haven't heard any reviews that said it was a great game.
Well, I mean,
But
you figure it was a strictly arcade title for PlayStation. Now all of a sudden,
the game's also made by a very small studio. So
yeah, well, like I said, it was an arcade title only originally.
published by 505 Games. But yeah, so 5 DLCs. They haven't really detailed what any of those are going to be. But,
505 published Brothers too, didn't it?
Yeah. Bada boom, which you'll be talking about later.
Yes, I will.
All right, Dishonored developer Arcane Studios, which
This is
we were just
exciting.
talking about,
Wow.
is actually rebooting Prey 2 as a spiritual successor to System Shock.
And as everybody knows, we already have a spiritual successor to System Shock,
Which is
and
BioShock.
So now we're going to see another spiritual successor by a different studio. That was Ken Levine's game.
And considering Dishonored is a lot like BioShock, I
Yeah.
can see how they can pull it
Yeah,
off.
it really is.
I was really excited about Prey 2 after I saw that trailer a
Me
couple
too.
years ago.
That was really good.
Man, that's just been
And-
such a... But Prey 1 had a very, very, very turmoil-filled development,
yeah, it
too.
did. It was
Well,
good
see,
for
I
years.
had the first Prey, and I wasn't even that big of a fan of it. I played halfway through the game,
Yeah.
didn't finish it, was not interested in Prey 2 until I saw that trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, doesn't even look like Prey.
Yeah.
Seems like anytime a Prey game comes out, you can pretty much bet there's going to be a lot of turmoil around its release, because the first one was the same way.
Yeah.
But this one did look great. They had a great trailer. I wonder why, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes companies just can't get it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
But Arcane Studios will definitely, it's in good hands.
It is.
And System Shock is a good basis to...
But see, now with them doing that, I would also like to see them do another Dishonored. So hopefully they get a chance to do that as well.
You figure that the groundwork could already be laid for Prey 2.
Right.
Now, I mean, I know they're going in a different route with it, but their engine's there. A lot of the concept art is there. Maybe they can keep it somewhat on a similar plane and not have a whole lot of work to do with it, but Now, just because it's a spiritual successor doesn't mean it's going to be anything like it. I mean, it should be noted
that's
that
true.
Dragon Age is a spiritual successor of Baldur's Gate.
Right.
But
There's lots of spiritual successors out
right,
there.
exactly, and that doesn't. They're nothing alike, when it comes down to it.
Baldur's Gate was also a good game, though.
Yeah, it was a great game.
All right. Now this one, I know this probably gets Matt's Phoenix right.
Yeah, the Capcom Essentials is confirmed for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It's coming with 5 games, and they are Resident Evil 6, which I played. I think I played a little bit.
Here?
Yeah, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Street Fighter 4, Devil May Cry 4, Dead Rising 2, and Mega Man 10. All for $60.
That's a hell of a deal.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Almost reminds me of the Orange Box,
Box.
Yeah.
which was probably one of the best deals of this whole generation. Especially considering you could probably get the game now for $10, and it's
Yeah,
like
that's
5
true.
games on a disc.
Yeah.
And they were all great games.
But yeah, the pack's coming with a branded bag, which is kind of cool. I actually kind of want to get this now.
I know how you are with your Capcom
Oh,
stuff.
It's launching on October 8th.
Only guy on earth who bought that full pack of the arcade games for that one.
And left the Xbox
the
on.
arcade cabinet.
Left the Xbox on to get the bad
Oh
boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's on
he did.
sale. One
Waited up all night for that shit.
But
It was like
Worth it.
it was like a camp out, except it was at home. All right, and then Forza 5 limited edition. As you would expect, it comes with some extra cars.
just like all the other Forzas.
The limited edition, this will cost you $80 instead of $60. Special edition includes a 5-car pack with the 2011 Audi Sportback, 2012 Aston Martin Vanquish, 2013 Ford M Shelby, Mustang GT500, the 2013 McLaren P1, and the 2013 SRT Viper GTS.
Now, they're going to probably follow suit just like all the other Forzas and release the pre-order pack as DLC or the limited edition pack as DLC.
Eventually, for sure. But limited edition owners also gain a VIP membership, which grants access to exclusive multiplayer events, 2 times 2x player reward acceleration, and yet another 5-car pack, which includes the 1965 Shelby Cobra 427, the 1987 Rough CTR Yellowbird, the 1991 Mazda number 55787B, the 2011 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor, and the 2011 Bugatti Veyron Super Sport.
New Bugatti.
Boom. All right, and then that's about the 10 cars plus a VIP membership and 2x player reward acceleration.
Window decals.
Now, if you get the $60 day one edition, you'll get yourself a 3-car pack, which will net you the 2010 Audi TT RS Coupe, 2013 Ford Focus ST, and the 2011 Lamborghini Gallardo, which that's the one that I'm getting. So
I got that one too.
you're not getting that limited edition.
No.
Yeah. There's already going to be a ton of cars in the game anyway.
And every month they'll have a new
Yeah,
pack.
new
so.
pack with these cars you never even heard of.
Yep.
Boom. And Dragon Age, take it away, J. Ray. I know you're excited.
Yep. Inquisition delay was allowed them the opportunity to bring back multiple player races. Where originally they said humans will be the only playable race. Now you can, just like Origins,
Play
dwarf
elf.
or elf. And they haven't
Dwarf?
really... Yeah, dwarves or elves. And, of course, if you're a dwarf, you cannot be a mage, just like in Origins. You can only be a rogue or a warrior, and then elves can be all 3. And, actually, I don't believe elves can be warriors.
They're probably archers.
Well,
Or
they can
so
either
sort
be
of like rogues,
they
I
can-
guess.
well, there's only 3 classes in Dragon Age: rogue, warrior, mage, and I believe the elves can be all 3. The humans can be all 3, but the dwarves cannot be a mage.
Yeah.
Because they don't have magical powers in Dragon Age for whatever reason. So, also there's a ton of information that has been released about Inquisition. I'm going to be writing about it very soon on fragterradio.com if you're interested. Also, check out the newest edition of Game Informer for a lot of information.
So what's the highlights of the new information
Well,
on Inquisition?
there's going to be... you're going to, obviously, if you're not familiar with the Dragon Age lore, back when the first Blight happened, as you know, the Blight is when the Archdemon comes out. The old gods get corrupted with Darkspawn.
And this
pain.
Dragon Age is actually before Origins?
No. This Dragon Age
Or
is set
after
after
Origins,
after Dragon
but
Age
before
2.
Dragon Age 2.
No, after Dragon
After
Age 2.
Dragon Age.
Because in Dragon Age 2, that's when the mages and Templars start their war. The war between mages and Templars is in full-fledged.
All thanks to Andes.
Yeah. The cool thing about this, the great thing about this is that in Dragon Age 1, or Origins, I should say, you play in Ferelden, where the Blight happens, as the Grey Warden. In Dragon Age 2, you play in the Free Marches, mainly in the city of Kirkwall, as the Champion, or Garrett Hawk. This one, you're the Inquisitor. And
and didn't they say that there's a chance you could run into your character from the first one or Hawk? You could like run into them.
There's a very good chance of that. In fact, you can probably count on that. But the cool thing about it is this game doesn't take. There was rumors it would take place in Orlais, which is another state or section. Now, this game takes place in Thedas, which is the whole continent. You're going to go to the Tevinter Imperium, which is like the big one up north. You're going to go back to Ferelden, which is supposedly still recovering from the Blight that you fought as the Grey Warden. You're going to go to Orlais, which is like the rich country. They border Ferelden. You're going to go back to the Free Marches, where Kirkwall is. There's a lot of cool things going on. And although this game isn't open world per se like Skyrim, it's going to have a map, like in Dragon Age Origins, where you can travel to large open world areas. And they say each open world area is bigger than their entire games before. Wow. And they really want you to be able to explore. There's mounts to ride, and they didn't just say, they said not just horses, which leads me to believe you might be able to ride dragons.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a whole lot of cool things going on in this. One thing to be happy about is you can now customize your party members' armor again.
Yes, which was
a bad thing in Dragon Age 2.
Now, there was a couple outfits you could get for select ones.
This is the interesting thing, though. They say each party member will have their distinct look. And every time you customize their armor, that you will clearly be able to tell they've customized their armor, but they will keep that distinct look. Like, they used an example. One of the party members has a cape. And no matter what you put on them, she keeps that cape and hood on. So that's cool. They maintain their distinct look. Because in Dragon Age Origins, you can make every party member look identical. If you outfit them with all the same armor and a helm, you won't even be able to tell who's who. So,
yeah.
I could talk Dragon Age for hours.
I know you could.
I know the lore inside out.
That and Assassin's Creed, hours.
Yeah. I don't even know if I could talk Assassin's Creed like I could Dragon Age. I mean, I just know Dragon Age. I've read all the books. I've read the summaries of all the comics. Yeah.
Dreamt about it. Yeah.
Dreamt all about it.
Thought about it during work hours.
Thought about it during many work hours. Yeah, there's not many people who like Dragon Age as much as I do. I
hope the dwarf, your companion from Dragon Age 2, makes an appearance.
Back in your party.
He is.
You remember Cassandra in Dragon Age 2?
That is great, because he was the best character of all time.
Do you remember Cassandra in Dragon Age 2? She's the one interviewing him while he's telling the story.
Yeah.
The Seeker.
Yeah.
She's in your party too.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be badass. They said that Morgan,
she's not a party member,
but she is a major
big
part of the game. The premise for the game is that while this war is going on, and the mages are fighting the Templars, the Chantry's broken off from all of them, the sky has opened up, and demons and all, the Fade, the veil between the Fade and the real world has been broken. Yeah. And all these monsters and stuff are being unleashed in the world. But because of all the civil war going on, nobody's really even caring.
Right.
So you create this Inquisition to kind of investigate what's going on and why this is happening. Now, you're going to have... They say that you control everything. The Inquisition is yours. And like I was about to say, the first Blight, there was an Inquisition. This is hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years before the events of Dragon Age Origins. You are starting the second Inquisition, and you are raising an army. And they say you go up to a castle. You can try to get in by talking to them. If they won't let you in, maybe they want you to do a quest to get in for them. You can say the hell with that and lay siege to their castle if you want.
Which I'll be doing.
And they, they say that you are in control, and they say they want it to give you the feeling of feeling very, very powerful, having an army at your back and building an army. And they say that you're going to actually get all these things. You're going to be able to build up your castle, your defense, all kinds of stuff. So
now I also wonder if we'll be seeing that chick from Dragon Age 2 who was like Hawk's love interest chick who ended
Isabella?
up yeah.
She's a heavy part of the book series. So I would say there's a good possibility she'll be in there somewhere. We don't know who the party members are except for one.
Yeah.
Actually 3. But
Dragon Age 2 had a lot of things wrong with it, but one of the biggest strengths of Dragon Age 2 was the cast of characters that they had.
They always do, man. BioWare just gets it right when it comes to that. Yeah. They just know how to make you feel for certain characters and hate certain characters as well.
The dwarf was hilarious. That dude.
My favorite mission of Dragon Age
when he
2.
was telling that
And in
story,
yours,
but
too,
it was exaggerating.
Yeah, see, he's telling the story, and you at first you think you're just playing the mission, and you're shooting people with Bianca, his crossbow, and all of a sudden it's the only chance you get to. You actually are controlling him unless you switch to him a lot. I never switched to him, so this was my first time really controlling him, and I'm like, damn, he's powerful, dude. Every time I shoot somebody,
use him more often.
Yeah, they just explode in one shot. Well, it turns out he was actually telling the story. And he exaggerating the hell out of it. And he was like, and I walked in and was blowing him to shreds with Bianca. Man, that was such a great...
yeah, that was probably my highlight of the game.
They said that they did come out and say that the Grey Warden story is over from Dragon Age Origins, and the Champion of Kirkwall story is over.
But there's a chance you'll run into them.
But yeah, running into both of them is very possible. And the Grey Wardens do play a big part in this new story. Man, it's going to be exciting to see what they do, because they say that this is by far, they use what game is it? Nights, Neverwinter Nights, or something like 99. They use the same for Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. They use that engine. They are actually using Frostbite 3 for this, and they said it has changed everything. There are so many things they couldn't do with the old tech they can do now, and this game is very ambitious. It really is. And the only downside to what I read and all the information I've gathered is it is releasing on current gen and next gen. And he came out and was quoted as saying, I want the current gen and the next gen to be identical, as far as if you play one, you'll get the exact same experience on the other. That scares me a little bit, because I want a true next-gen RPG.
Yeah.
I don't want this. He said that you will see a major difference visually in the next-gen one. Yeah. But, man, I feel like that there's things they could do with the next-gen one.
And there'll probably be a better frame rate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the small technical things, of course, but as far as there's a lot more they could fit on next-gen hardware, so I wish there was more content,
Yeah.
I just don't want them to limit the next-gen one because they can't fit it on the current-gen one. And, I trust BioWare fully, so they'll get it right.
That's right. All right. Microsoft reveals the Season Pass Guarantee program, which means you buy a Season Pass for Call of Duty Black Ops or any other game on current gen, and then you buy that game for next gen. Your Season Pass carries over. You don't have to buy it again a second time. And currently, they're the only platform holder providing that guarantee. Yeah. So,
also, Amazon and GameStop are providing a list of games, and it's pretty much all the launch games. If you buy them on current,
all the big games, Ghost, Assassin's
all
Creed,
the third-party ones that are
Watch Dogs.
If you buy them on current gen, you can trade them in, and you'll get $25 credit plus an additional $25, which means you pay roughly $10 for the new for the new version of it. Yeah. And then I know Sony just decided to do something similar too. So it's going to be. Don't worry about not buying a current gen game now, because you're going to be able to get the next gen one of it for very cheap,
which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be doing that with any certain games?
FIFA and Madden.
Not Call of Duty? Wait for it on it?
Well, Call of Duty, I won't have long to wait. So FIFA and Madden, I'll have a couple months. So yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I can't wait for my FIFA.
I know you can. Batman Arkham Origins Collector's Edition detail. Now, we had actually talked about the European Collector's Edition recently on another episode. Well, they've announced the North American, Australia, and New Zealand Collector's Edition this time. And it's actually completely different from the other one. In terms of what you're going to get, you got a statue of the Joker, which actually features LED lights that actually light up in the statue. So I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be battery powered or if you have to plug his butt into the wall or what. You also get an 80-page art book, 2 pieces of evidence, a Batman wanted poster along with prototype schematics for the Batwing, an Anarchy logo stencil, a glow-in-the-dark map of Gotham, a Wayne family photo, and intel dossiers on the 8 assassins, along with Black Mask's contract. So that's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff.
But keep in mind, this is $120.
Yeah, I really think only comic fans will probably dive into that.
Also, a first appearance Batman skin will be included, allowing players to appear as the old Batman, like he did in the comics. You'll also get the Deathstroke Challenge Pack, which unlocks 2 extra Deathstroke skins and bonus challenge maps. And North American versions of the special edition will get a documentary from Warner Brothers showcasing all the villains as well. So lots of content there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, and on to the Gamescom news. Peggle 2 and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare Xbox exclusive. Now, I'm not a big Peggle guy. I know a lot of people are.
I love Peggle.
Yeah, there's tons of big Peggle fans out there. So this is huge for people like yourself.
Yeah.
The one that I'm interested in is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, which they take the Plants vs. Zombies, turn it into something completely different. This is a third-person shooter where one side plays the plants and one side plays the zombies. But the cool thing is, if you're playing as the plants, when you're walking around shooting, there'll be like little pots around, and you can plant seeds to like sprout up turrets to help out your team. Or if you're playing as the zombies, you can choose as different classes of zombies. Like they got, the regular zombies, they got the big giant zombie with the football helmet, tons of different ones you can choose from. So you'll have a very different gameplay experience based on what side you're playing on, which I think is really cool. Also graphically, it looks really cool looking. And Peggle 2 was just pretty much announced today, so not a lot of information on that yet. But it'll actually be out on Xbox One first, and then will come to 360 later, along with Windows PC. So
Kinect and Smart Glass gameplay modes will be Xbox One exclusive.
Yep. That is for sure. All right, and revealed today, Call of Duty Ghosts will have dedicated servers, only on Xbox One and PC also, I believe. On Xbox One, because they will be utilizing Microsoft's Azure Cloud servers to power the dedicated servers. So that is definitely awesome. Dedicated servers are what is up in a competitive first-person shooters. Also, they unveiled a new mode. This is called Blitz mode. Players will be attacking and defending zones on each end of the map. When a player makes it to the highlighted zone on the opposing team's side, they score a point and are instantly teleported back to the other end of the map. So you start on your side of the map, you work your way to the other side, score a point, and then you start over again and try and score as many points as you can before the match is over.
You're gonna have to have defenders too.
Gotta have those defenders. I mean, come on. Have a few people stay back, guard the area. Yeah.
That's right. That's it.
Let's see. The spokesman also announced that Europe will be getting a premium bundle for the Xbox One that will include the console and Call of Duty Ghosts and bonus content. They didn't specify what that is, though. And, of course, as always, Call of Duty maps will be coming first to Xbox One and Xbox 360.
FIFA Ultimate Team Legends is exclusive to Xbox. We already talked a little bit about that. It's just...
you get to play as the Legends.
Yeah. In the popular Ultimate Team mode, now there's going to be Legends available in it. And I don't know if it's going to be a separate mode yet, or if they're going to incorporate it into the Ultimate Team, which I hope it's a separate mode, because for those of you that just want the standard Ultimate Team experience, you don't want other teams loaded down with Legends.
Yeah, well, and then how does that work? I think I was reading something like, it's like the luck of the draw, so you might not get all the Legends right away. You
open cards.
Yeah.
In Ultimate Team, you buy packs of cards with either real money or coins, and God, it takes forever if you want to do it with coins. But it's essentially a free-to-play format. And anyways, if you buy a rare pack, you can buy gold, silver, or bronze. If you buy a gold pack, then you're guaranteed to get one rare.
Right.
If you don't even waste money on silver and bronze, because you get crap. You'll have never heard of any players in any of those packs. So
this is how it is.
Get the gold packs, and I don't know how the Legends one's going to work, but I'm guessing there's going to be a Legends pack, and you'll open that pack, and in Ultimate Team you get manager cards, formation cards, like fix an injury card, all kinds of stuff. It's like a mini RPG game. Right. So if you play a game and your guy get injured, now you need to get a card that fixes.
So you won't be able to just choose like your favorite Legend and download that.
No.
You'll have to keep buying packs of cards.
Well, let's say I get Pele, just since everybody knows who Pele is, and my pack. Okay, now let's say Matt has opened 55 packs and all he wants is Pele, and he just can't get them. And then I open another pack and I get a duplicate Pele.
Trade.
I can put them up for auction,
Oh.
and there'll be a big bidding war for them, or I can offer a trade. You know, there's several. You can actually go up and search Pele's, because basically what I would do is I would take that duplicate and put it into my trade pile. Now, and then once it's in my trade pile, I can either put it up for auction, or offer it in a trade. If I put it up for auction, I can set that for 1 day, and then people will just bid on it for 1 day. The highest will get it.
Right.
Or I can just sell it outright and say, this is the price I want, and whoever gets to it first gets it.
Definitely. I mean, they were showing it off today, like big time. It was.
That's how Ultimate Team works.
The game was looking really
Legends,
cool.
It's probably going to work the exact same way, I would assume.
For sure.
But Killer Instinct pricing revealed.
Yep.
And some other little bit tidbits as well. All right, so main thing, there's going to be 8 characters, 6 available at launch, with 2 coming soon after. You'll get Jago for free, and you can buy the other 5 characters for $5 each. Or you can pay $20 and get all the characters.
Yeah.
Now, that will also include the 2 characters that come out shortly after launch. So if you pay $5 for each character, you get Jago free. So it's 7. 5 times 7 is 35. So you're saving $15.
How many characters have been revealed so far? Let's see.
4.
Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder.
Glacius.
And Jago.
Jago. And who's the other one?
They've been shown.
Saberwolf.
They've been shown, but
Saberwolf.
Oh, okay.
Spinal,
That's right.
Cinder, and Fulgore have all been confirmed.
Yeah, that was kind of
They just haven't been shown.
Yeah.
So that's 7. So we're missing 1.
Right. And they're going to add more later.
Which is good.
As like DLC. This is just going to be like the main
because 6 fighters really isn't a lot.
No, not compared to
8
fighters. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'll get the other 2 later, but I mean, yeah, even 8's really not a lot. So you would imagine that they're going to come out with some down the road as DLC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would imagine they'll eventually have all the characters from KI 1 and 2 before it's all said and done, and probably some new characters as well.
They probably just couldn't get them all done before launch.
True.
That could
Or
be.
it could be just
Well,
a marketing strategy.
they also said that they're working very hard on balancing, and they want to make sure all the characters are really balanced. So they want the game to be balanced out the gate, and the best way to do that, if you've got 6 to 8 characters, you can make sure those are balanced, ready to go, and then bring the other characters out as they're ready. And
because they've all got to essentially, it's like a paper rock scissor system. Every character has to have something to defend against another character,
right?
Or their own styles. So anyway,
right. So anyways, that's the $20. There's also an Ultra Edition.
Ultra Edition.
You pay $40. You get all the characters, plus you get extra outfits for each character.
Not the outfits.
And
of course,
you get the original Killer Instinct.
That's
worth the classic Killer Instinct from back in the day.
Not the classic.
That is big thing.
If you have the new Killer Instinct, then you're not going to go back and play the original. Matt will.
I will too.
I won't. I'm going to play the new one like crazy, but not the old one.
Well, that's because you're crazy. You don't ever play anything old. You're just, it's new or it's not playable.
That's not true.
Everybody else who loves Killer Instinct is going to play the old one. You are probably the only one on Earth who's not going to.
I just don't see myself going back and playing that when I have the new one right there. I just don't.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do.
They're going to be 2 different games.
They are.
Well, yeah, I know. But, I mean, I played that one back in the day a lot. I mean, I guess it would be cool to see, what it was like. It's been so long. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm just going to be so... It was
also a great game.
I'm just going to be so excited for the new one that I just can't see myself going back to the old one,
Well, no one's saying that I'm not going to play the new one first.
Yeah.
But I'm damn sure going to load
Don't lie. You're going to throw the new one out the window and just play Killer Instinct 1.
I can't throw it out the window. It's
that's
digital.
True. You're going to take the hard drive and you're going to...
Why would I do that? That would just be retarded.
That's what it sounds like to me. P is buying this just for Killer Instinct 1. Don't lie.
Well, I'm not buying it for the extra outfits.
Yeah.
I'm buying it for the original Killer Instinct. That's what I'm paying that extra $20 for. I could care less if I've got a purple shirt to throw on Jago.
Yeah.
It's all about the original Killer Instinct.
Don't lie. You love that purple shirt.
I will love it, but I will love the original Killer Instinct even more. Oh, and with that, Tom Clancy's The Division getting exclusive content on Xbox One, which I think is huge because The Division is probably going to be one of the biggest games of next year.
Yeah,
if not the biggest.
It might be the biggest.
Yeah. So they announced it at Gamescom today. They're already going to have exclusive smart glass functionality,
which it looks really cool
for The Division.
It looks cool.
This is extra content on top of that.
I've been looking at at Gamescom. They showed some more gameplay footage with the tablet, quite a bit actually, and it looks really neat. I mean, the way you can use the tablet in real time, even if you're not at the house. Like I could be at work and y'all could be playing it at home, and Pete could call me and be like, "Hey man,
call an airstrike, buddy."
Yeah, dude. I mean, that just blows my mind. I mean, it's just awesome how that can be done.
Yeah, same thing with like Dead Rising 3.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting surrounded by zombies, you call your buddy and be like, "Yo, call an airstrike, dog." Like, all right, boom, here it comes.
It's incredible.
Take cover.
It's absolutely incredible the times we're living in.
And then Battlefield 4 with the smart glass, you can like control drones and fly around the map, and that's all cool stuff. Smart glass is finally getting to where it should have been.
And let's not forget, Destiny's going to have something like that too.
Oh, good old Destiny.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of games that are doing it.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, it seems like the new thing.
Yeah, it's catching on.
And I would imagine we'll see another handful of games doing it too before it's all said and done.
I'm sure Titanfall will have something too.
Oh, yeah, they probably will.
They need to do something like that with like a new mech assault, where you can actually use your tablet to get into the blueprints of your mech and like alter things around, stuff like that.
That would be tight. But yeah, so no word on exactly what that is. In the case of Division at E3, the focus was on smart glass, tablet name, blah, blah, blah. So it's gonna be cool. All right.
It's gonna be good.
All right, Halo 4 Champions Bundle DLC out today. I downloaded it, haven't played it yet. We'll be talking about it next episode. I'll definitely have had a chance to play it by then. You get 2 new maps, a new mode, some new armors, and some new gun skins as well. You can get the whole Champions Bundle for 800 points, or you can buy the maps, or you can buy the armor skins, or you can buy the gun skins.
You know, when I was looking at it in the store, one thing they need to do is they need to put on the armor packs, when you go to details, if you bought the championship bundle or the champions bundle, do not purchase this, because I'm willing to bet there's going to be somebody who's like, oh, there's like 4 new packs of Halo DLC out, and they're going to buy them all and not realize that they've actually already purchased it. Yeah, you know. So
yeah, well, hopefully they read the description, because it clearly says in there. This includes the Bullseye Pack, the Infinity Pack.
Yeah, it does. It does on the Champions Bundle one. Mm-hmm. But what I mean is, if they don't read that and then they just go to the Armor one and see that, it doesn't say on there if you already, like a lot of games will put, if you already purchased this, do not do that. Yeah. You know, so hopefully, well, Microsoft's really good about recompensating people. So even if they did, all they'd have to do is call 1-800-4MY-XBOX and they'd get it straight. I've had some, they've been really good to me every time I've called them. So
they've been really good. Yeah.
Definitely getting the job done. And the much anticipated indie developer program was unveiled at Gamescom today. It's called Independent Developers at Xbox, self-publishing program. Now this is actually really cool. So you sign up, and it won't cost you anything. And then Microsoft will actually send you 2 dev kits for free to build your game on.
I thought that they had said every Xbox One
can be
used as a dev kit.
You can use that as a dev kit, but at launch, that functionality isn't going to be available right away. They're going to be patching that in, so they will send you 2 dev kits. Bada boom. In the meantime, let's see. Also, they'll have full access to achievements, the Xbox Live toolset, cloud services, Kinect, Smart Glass. You'll have access to all that if you're an indie developer. You'll also have access to the new achievement stuff, where you can add achievements, weekly or whatever, to try and bring people back to the game.
What do they call those things? They had a...
I forget. So
yeah,
if you don't know, then I don't know.
It was something similar to Judgment's medals.
Yeah.
Challenges.
Bada boom. Now they're saying, so you can start calling today to apply for your kit, and they will get back to you within a week or so. They say now they're saying if they get 1,000 applicants, then it's going to take a little longer than if they got say 200 applicants, of course. But they're definitely going to get to everybody as quickly as possible.
Sure, they're going to have a lot of applicants.
Yeah.
Bada boom. And Call of Duty Ghosts announced for Europe.
The bundle.
Yep. This is one of what we talked about a little bit earlier. So we pretty much already covered it.
Yeah.
Bada boom. And Ryse enters the arena with co-op multiplayer mode Gladiator.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I saw right before I came over here, I saw the video on it. And there's definitely a lot of terrains that you can cover in it. You walk into the arena and there's a meter that shows the crowd's, how into it the crowd is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, it definitely seems sort of like a horde mode type thing.
Yeah. Arena fighter.
Yeah, we'll see more of that. They supposedly reworked all the combat for the game, or at least improved it. So the build for Gamescom was supposed to be upgrade over the E3 build.
Yeah.
So that's good because there was a lot of people with some doubts over the combat, and they seem to have addressed that. So that's good news. I am really looking forward to this game, and I had some doubts too, but it seems like they've covered that, and that's good, because Ryse is a game that can be a big seller for them, and Crytek's a good developer, so, if this game works out, it'll probably end up being one of my favorite games, so.
Yeah, well, your favorite site, IGN, did an article on it. I think it was Ryan McCaffrey who was playing it today, and he said he was really impressed.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, he said that it was a definite improvement over the original combat, because the combat they showed at E3 must not have been finished or something, because it did not look very good at all. But I noticed from watching the Gladiator mode itself that the combat definitely looked a little bit more fluid. It didn't look as slowed down, and there was no emphasis whatsoever on QTEs. Okay. So, it definitely seems like an improvement. And Ryan McCaffrey himself said, that it felt a lot better. So. And
I'm glad that they have this Gladiator mode in there, and it's not just a single-player game.
Yeah.
Because, granted, I love single-player games. Probably not as much as J-Ray, but I do love them. But once I finish a single-player game that doesn't have anything else to go with it, then I'm done with it, and I never play it again. Now, if it's a good game, I still don't trade it in just out of principle. Yeah. But it just sits on my shelf and collects dust. Now, with Gladiator mode, there's actually a chance that I'll probably get on there and play.
Yeah. It's
a
reason to go back.
The really good single-player games you play again, as do I. I played Mass Effect 2 numerous times.
Mass Effect 2 and Alan Wake I've played multiple times. Those are the only two games.
Dragon Age Origins I played twice.
I didn't play that twice.
Dragon Age 2 I played twice.
Damn sure I didn't play that twice.
Well, yeah. But,
My bad.
There's games that are single-player games worth playing twice.
There are some.
You don't
but they're few and far between is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Out of an entire 8-year generation, we just named 5 games.
Well, the key to having a single-player only game is bringing out good DLC for that single-player only game, so you do pick it back up and play it again.
Like what's going on with Dishonored.
Right, exactly. That's a perfect example. But if you're not going to come out with DLC, then you do need a mode similar to a Gladiator mode to keep people going with something. But I feel like a great single-player game loaded with 4 great single-player DLC packs is just as good as a forced multiplayer mode.
What's really cool is that this actually fits. That this is like some Spartacus type ish, and I can see us actually having some fun with that if I can actually get you on the co-op with me.
Like I said, they actually have a crowd meter mode where it shows how into it the crowd is, and you got to work the crowd just like you would in a real gladiator fight. The only difference is they're not one-on-one battles. They're actually it's more a horde based,
Like you and your partner and take. Yeah. Now, is it 2 players or can you go up to 4?
I don't know. That's a good question. I saw in the video that they had 2 players. That doesn't mean that that's what it's limited to. Right. But I noticed instructions on there. Like, it was real cool because when you walked into the arena, right before you stepped on the arena, the terrain would come up. And there was like a swamp one where there was water everywhere. There was a desert one. There was like a fortress one. And, there was different enemies for each one. Definitely seems something, like something I'll play. I hope they load that mode down with a lot of incentives to keep playing it. Like upgrades similar to like Spartacus game where you can upgrade. Yeah. Like I want it to be make your own character,
Hopefully they add some more story DLC down the line to it too.
Oh yeah, I hope so too. But what I mean, as far as this gladiator mode, it'd be cool if you can make your own gladiator, and then as you fight and get better, you can upgrade them with better equipment, better weapons, better armor. That would be something I'd play a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's just default character A, default character B, and then go here and fight wave after wave of enemies, then I don't know how much I would play it. You know,
right?
But I feel like the potential is there for this to be a really cool.
Hopefully they have more than one arena too.
Well, they definitely do. I've already seen at least 3.
Three?
So, yeah. So, like I said, there's the swamp one that I saw. There's the one that seems like kind of like a fortress type area. Then there's a desert one. That's the 3 that I saw. So
nice.
And I'm sure there's more than what they showed.
Rise, Dead Rising 3, Killer Instinct, probably my top 3 for launch day. I'll be playing all 3 of those. Mohong published Cobalt confirmed coming exclusive to Xbox 360 and Xbox One for console. It'll also be coming to PC and Mac as well.
16-bit era style and will be competitive multiplayer experience.
Yeah, I was watching the video for this. Matt's gonna love this.
I haven't seen
What's it look like?
It's like a side-scrolling shooter, but with like retro style type graphics.
Okay.
But there's like an upgrade system, and then I don't know. It was just really cool looking. There's a trailer up on YouTube. You should check it out.
A retro's gamer delight.
That's right. All right, and we talked about this. FIFA 14 coming free with Xbox One in Europe, and this one really grinds J-Ray's gears too.
Oh.
It just pisses me off that, and it doesn't just piss people in America off because essentially this is what Microsoft has done. Now, don't get me wrong. This is great for the people in these areas because it is going to help Microsoft sell better in those areas, probably a lot better. Yeah. This is why it pisses me off because I'm going to buy FIFA, and why the hell does Johnny Wang over there in Scotland get this damn game and I can't? He's getting it free. And the thing about it is they've also, in order to meet demand in certain areas, they've cut down the regions they're going to be releasing the Xbox One in.
Right, 8 instead of 21.
Yeah, so I know that there was a guy, one of the IGN Europe editors,
your boys,
was pissed. He was pissed, boy. He was like, now I've got to wait until 2014. Man. But of course, he can get it somewhere if it's not region locked now.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. You can buy it from any damn where.
Yeah.
But whatever. All right, and then last news article of the day was the biggest one for me today. Microsoft announced Fable Legends. I predicted it on the site. Go back, check the article. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. So it's called Fable Legends. This is actually going to be a 4-player co-op experience with the possibility of a 5th player who will act as like the dungeon master.
Another smart glass tablet integrated game. We didn't even talk about that.
Yep. So you were saying that you watched something with an interview.
Yeah, and I read the Polygon article you were talking about.
You did.
Everything in there is true. But it doesn't say anywhere when the Dungeon Master will be controllable. The Dungeon Master thing is going to be like an added experience for certain parts of the game. Now, this isn't, this is based on what one person said who played the game. Doesn't mean this is exactly what it is or what it isn't. But supposedly what Keza said, she got invited to Lionhood to play, is certain parts of the game you can be this 5th player, certain parts you can't. The 4 core players play the whole daggone game. Okay. That 5th player is for certain instances and stuff. It's going to be interesting. I was thinking about it. Now, let's say you can upgrade your evil character if you play as the villain. That'd be cool. You get more and more options the more you do it, like to send out more traps and stuff. Then I'd probably
better
use
troops.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I think I'm going to pretty much want to play a Fable experience. I want to play 4-player co-op. That part does sound exciting, playing Fable with friends, because we actually played Fable 3 together.
Remember me making my pie?
Yeah, and he didn't have his headset on, and he was getting it with them pies, dude. I'm not kidding you, Matt. It must have been an hour and a half, and he was just at his pie station making pies. And I am hitting him. I am casting spells on him, like trying to get his attention. And then finally he just comes up like everything's on. What's up? And I was like, dude, you must have just made 7,000 pies. Like, you got to be kidding me. Trying to make some money, man. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the richest guy in the kingdom now. Shit.
That's great.
Dude, Betty Crocker over here, man.
Oh, yeah, you can make some money off them pies.
But I actually enjoyed the Fable 3 online experience. It was bare.
It was better than Fable 2.
Yeah, it was bare, but it was cool how you could bring your characters together. But I think this is going to be cool. Class-based. It's set 300 years before the events of the first two Fables. Yeah. First three Fables. Actually, the first Fable game, it's set 300 years before, and then sometime before the second, third. But it's in a time where heroes, if you are familiar with the Fable lore, in all those games, you are the hero, and especially in Fable 2, you're the returning hero, the son of, the hero from the first Fable.
Right.
Heroes aren't common in the old Fable games, but they always talk about a time when heroes existed commonplace. This is that time. Okay. Heroes are everywhere. And, that's essentially the setup for the game, and you're going to be class-based. There's going to be a mage, a woman. There's going to be a woman warrior who has a huge giant shield. There's going to be a rogue-type guy who has 3 knives that he shoots out everywhere. Okay. And then there's going to be a big dude with a Bianca-looking crossbow. It has the 4 things. And then they say that there's going to be a couple other characters, too, that these are the only ones that we know about. I'll tell you, it looks cool. The setup is going to be different. They say the setup of the entire game is going to be nothing like Fable 2 and 3. Whereas, you kind of go to different maps. You can go to your map and pick different places to go and do quests at this world and do quests at that world. They said that it's going to be more along the lines of Fable 1, but there's going to be a central hub, a town that is like your central hub of where you go questing at. And then you're going to go on dungeon quests, almost like Diablo or Torchlight.
Yeah.
Right. There's still very little known about the game. Nothing really's been shown on it.
There is a trailer.
There is a trailer, but it doesn't have gameplay footage or anything. Yeah. It's just
still cool, nevertheless.
Yeah, it is. And they say Keza said the game looked phenomenal. She went out and said that it's the best looking game that she's seen yet on next gen.
Really?
So that's making a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you think about how great Forza 5 is looking.
Well, yeah. So I might be speaking wrong here. I think she's the best looking RPG game she's seen on the next gen. Yeah. That is
putting that into perspective.
Yeah, I'm glad you corrected me there because I don't. But that includes The Witcher, Dragon Age Inquisition. There's a bunch of RPGs that have actually been announced. Destiny's considered an RPG. So that's a huge statement. And I'm looking forward to this game. I was telling P on the phone, I really want just Fable 4 and just to give me a huge, giant Fable experience.
It's a giant single-player game.
No, single player is not what I mean by that. I just want your traditional Fable experience. Like I said, I like the co-op experience.
I'm sure we'll get Fable 4 eventually, and that's why they didn't title this Fable 4.
And you're probably right about that. And that's good, Nevertheless, this game is looking very promising.
Much more promising than The Journey.
Very much so. Very much so.
Bada boom. All right, and that's the news for this week. On to the reviews. We've been getting down on a ton of arcade games. Yeah. We've been writing the reviews, posting them on the site.
And now it's time to frag them. Babies.
Yeah, it is. Matt, you were tasked with getting down on Zeno Clash 2 and God Mode. Starting with Zeno, what the heck's that game all about?
That game is just something else. It's a good game. But, man, as soon as you boot that thing up and the screen music comes on with this, death metal rocking in your ear. And then
I hated it. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, some parts I hated, too. And some parts the music wasn't even there. You'd be walking around the outside of the world.
The music made me want to punch myself in the dick, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it was kind of, at times, obnoxious. But,
but I don't mean to cut you off, but if you want to read all the full reviews, check them out at fragtagradio.com.
Yeah,
because we've all written big reviews for these games. So
yeah.
Anyway, proceed.
It's a fun game. I mean, the story itself is kind of confusing unless you played the first one.
So you were saying the way it plays is kind of like a Skyrim type of deal?
No, it's real linear because they give you. It's an open world.
I mean,
open world, but smaller.
They give you. There's a canyon to walk through.
In the sense of it being,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
In the sense of it being that first person combat.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. I mean. Right trigger's right hook, left trigger's left hook. You charge one of them down, you do a strong cross, something like that.
And you were saying that you could do like Hail Marys and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's just all a matter of hitting a certain direction and charging that button. Or combos, you hit left trigger twice and hold down right trigger and you'll do a 3-punch combo ending with an uppercut. And there's parries, there's blocking, there's dodging. So I mean, it's pretty deep. fighting
And
system.
the art style looks like you're tripping on shrooms, right?
It does. Like, this game
Absolutely.
is just crazy. Like, I don't understand half the animals in this game, like the creatures,
Yeah,
but they're people, like, you know, NPCs.
You were
Just
saying
chilling.
that like you're a human and your brother's a sloth or something.
Yeah, it's weird because the story, apparently, there's like your father, mother, which is one character.
It means your father and your mother.
Well,
It's a
that's
he,
the
she.
thing. It's but they're not related. Like the story.
What? It's one person, but it's not related.
Yeah, it's really weird. They're basically the story is about them, like these two people trying to find their original parents because they were told a lie that.
Oh,
This
don't you go
creature-
telling no lies.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, but it's good. I'm still just about done with it, but
Enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. Yeah, I just beat a boss today. It was tough. Had to do a lot of blocking. But I got him.
Put his butt down.
I
All right,
did.
so frags. What
Frag
do you
that
think?
baby.
I'd give it 3.5 frags.
Bring it.
Yeah,
Sounds
3.5
about right.
frags.
All right, and then God mode,
God
which
mode.
we both actually played.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Definitely fun co-op. So premise,
Oh, geez. Well, it's an arena fighter or shooter, I guess you'd say.
third person. Yeah.
Yeah, third person, and I mean, every match begins with was it testimony?
Well, you were saying that you're like in your review, it's like you're the descendant of.
Yeah, you're a descendant of like a god that was stripped of his powers and sent to Hades, I believe. And you're just the descendant finding
And-
your way up.
Yeah, the concept of the game is you're trying to make your way up out of this maze.
Yeah, of
To
Hades.
avoid eternal damnation.
Pretty much, yeah. And along the way, I mean, the story itself is just kind of throw it out there and
Right.
kind of leave it up to your imagination.
Yeah, it's kind of just there as a basis for the game.
Yeah, pretty much. But because once the action starts, you kind of forget about all that.
No.
And
And the action is a ton of fun in that game.
it is, and especially when you get more than one person. It might
Yeah.
take a little bit for that lobby to fill up, but when it does, it's on.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun.
There's tons of different cool guns.
Yep, you can upgrade them all. Well, you can upgrade them all twice.
Is there melee combat in that game?
You hit B.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's just like your typical, like gun bash, and that's about it.
Yeah. So it pretty much should have been.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that when I looked at the screenshots and stuff, there was like screenshots that looked like it had a little bit of fighting in it too.
Well, there is it's like a buzzsaw thing,
Yeah.
and you can run up to people and chainsaw
Chainsaw,
them with it.
Oh, okay.
But you can also shoot the blade out into a crowd of people and
Got
take them
it.
out that way too.
Yeah. I think it's the only weapon they have like that where it's close. Everything else is like a gun.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they got like a crazy ass looking sniper rifle called the railgun.
Yeah, they do. Those are the later ones. You have to like be level like 15 and have like 80,000 gold to unlock or something like that.
Yeah, definitely expensive.
Yeah.
And then you got other abilities you can unlock like shield.
Yeah, your shield. There's shield. There's one where you can call down lightning to strike nearby enemies.
Yep.
And I didn't mess with the other ones. I can't remember what they were. But just little perks throughout the game, just to help you out.
Right. And then the oaths, which are like the skulls in Halo.
Yeah. They just, well, I mean, like you've heard me say before, you take more damage, but then you get 12% more experience points.
And more gold as well.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. So, I mean, you take a hit once somewhere, but you gain something else.
Now, once you finish a level, you go to this room with gold.
Yeah, that's basically, it's great. As soon as that happens and the music starts, if you're playing with anybody, they just book.
Yeah.
And they just run randomly around trying to collect as much gold as they can. And when they, you can shoot those other people so they'll drop their gold. And if you're running behind them, you can just pick it up real quick.
But essentially, if you do that, you're both just wasting time when you
Pretty much, yeah.
when you could be collecting gold.
Yeah, because every time I play, no one's ever shot anything. They're just constantly running.
Yeah.
And then, But, I'd give that actually a 4 frags. I really like that game for what it was.
I would agree. Yeah. A pleasant surprise, actually. I wasn't really expecting a lot from it.
It was really lighthearted, too, especially with the announcer.
Yeah, that guy's hilarious.
That guy is funny. Especially how he explains like how you die every time you level up a level.
Yeah.
He dies some crazy ways.
All right, so 4 frags on God mode.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you just started playing Defiance, but we're not far into it. We'll talk about that next episode.
Yeah.
I got down on RIPD based off of the movie.
Yeah.
You play as Roy, and the other guy is Nick, I think. You can play as one or the other. This is also a third-person shooter. Made by the same people who make God Mode. Actually, not as good as God Mode.
I was about to say, yeah.
But you can definitely tell it's the same team because they're very similar in the way they play.
Gameplay, everything, yeah. I almost felt like they were just limited by the franchise they had to work with.
Yeah. The enemies, they're pretty easy to take down.
Yeah.
It's standard stuff. The challenges are a little bit different than what they are in God mode. Like it'll be like a certain spot of the map that you have to hold down and capture, and then at the end of each level there will be like a big enemy, and once you shoot him down, you can either execute him or you can wait and keep holding off enemies until there's enough time for him to be arrested. And that's pretty much it. There's different levels. You know, you can choose one character or the other. You can buy different guns. I don't think you can upgrade the guns. I don't think you can. I think that's different guns.
Different guns in itself is like the upgrade.
Yeah. But you know, overall, I would say that's probably about 3 frags.
I'd say so. Playing that little bit, I played with it.
Pacific Rim. If you played Real Steel on Xbox Live Arcade, you know what to expect here. This game is developed by the same people. And it plays exactly the same. Just paint. Yeah, just with different characters, different type of robots. The cool thing is you don't just play as the big mechs. You can also play. You can also play as the aliens, which is a nice spin on it. And the mechs, you can customize them. You can make them look your own. You can add different special abilities to them, level them up. There's actually a pretty deep system in there, considering this is a game made after a movie. Yeah. I would actually say that it's a little bit better than Real Steel in the long run. Yeah. The combat can be a little bit slow and clunky, but these are giant mechs. So, true. You know,
so the weighs that much, it's not going to move on time.
You wouldn't be expecting like ninja-like combat, coming from these big guys. So, if you check it out. Play the single-player campaign. Level your guy up first before going online. Because I was level 1. I went online. It automatically matched me up with a level 25. I didn't even get a single hit in.
Oh, man.
It was embarrassing. And, yeah. So, I played through, leveled up my guy, went back. Out of 3 or 4 matches, I won 1.
Wow.
So, but I'm sure the people who are on there are people who are playing this game a lot. So.
Yeah. Fans of the movie.
Yeah. They were getting down. All right. Next game was Mars Warlogs.
Chris, what was that guy's name?
Roy?
No, Roy and Innocence. Yeah.
Yes.
Innocence.
There's 2 government factions in this game. One, the people all have weird type of names like Innocence, Temperance, Prowess, all sorts of crazy names like that.
Type names,
the main character, Roy, his government name is Temperance, but he actually doesn't like it, so he tells everyone to call him Roy. There are these people in the world called technomancers, and they are actually like the leaders of these different places. You know, like people like look up to them as like, I wouldn't say gods, but like very powerful people that you don't want to F with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a pretty like vast system of upgrading and stuff in that game.
There is
scavenging loot and stuff.
Oh, there's so much you can do. I mean,
like side missions and stuff. I did not expect that when I picked it up. I was like, man, this is a lot bigger than I expected. You know?
Yeah. There's 3 different chapters. They're each completely different areas, and each area is its own little mini open world.
Yeah.
You walk around, you talk to people, you get side quests from them. You've also got the main quest. Like in the first chapter, your main quest is to escape from the prison. And your main quest missions all revolve around preparing for that escape. Yeah. And then there's little side missions you can do for guards and other inmates around that will help you get XP and items that will aid you in your escape. You level your character up. There's an actual skill tree where you go and you choose different skills for your character, upgrade them. Very robust. I mean, for a $15 game, Mars does a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it was very ambitious when they tried to release it on PC.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted it to be a Mass Effect type game. It just didn't work out that
The
way.
only difference from Mass Effect, other than the art style, is the combat. Mass Effect is more of a shooter, where this is more of an arcade melee brawler. But the combat is actually the best part of the game, which was another thing that surprised me. I was expecting it to be all more about the story and stuff like that, and the combat not to be that great. But, I mean, the combat is the best part. I mean, it's really fun to do. You've got a regular strike, and then you've also got, like, another type of punch where if someone's guarding, it'll, like, knock them back and then, like, throw them off guard so you can start punching regular again. Or you've got like a roll evade. There's like these dogs in the world where they've got like metal shields on their faces so you can't attack them from the front. You got to roll behind them and knock them in the ass to do some damage. So really, really cool game. The game is so massive I could talk about it for a while, but I won't go into it depth. If you want to hear more about it, and there's a lot to say in my review on the website fragtagradio.com, but I will go ahead and frag it right now. 4.5 frags.
Oh, wow,
Nice.
Yeah. It's a great game for $15. And the last game I have to review, Charlie Murder. This is like Castle Crashers on acid with a bunch of punk rock music.
Yeah.
The combat is great. There is a ton of different upgrades you can do. Your character has a Windows phone which you can bring up.
Well, yeah.
You can like
God bless him.
you can do
Poor guy.
You can do your upgrades in the Windows phone. You can check the followers for your band.
Feel your pain, Charlie.
You can do the text messages.
And that's it. You can't download apps because they ain't got them.
Well, there ain't none on this game, that's for sure. Well,
it's a very realistic game, I hear.
my next phone is going to be a Windows phone.
I strongly advise you against it, but
I'm not worried about ESPN or HBO Go. I'm good. As long as
Pulse, you love Pulse.
As long as I have Xbox games, that's all I care about.
That's all you need.
Yeah, all I do on my phone is read news, look at Facebook, and
you already got
surf
yourself
the web.
a Surface for all those games.
Surf the web. But I don't bring my Surface to work, you know?
You don't?
No.
Oh.
It's just too big to just be having out, you know, just chilling while people are all around me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, a phone is more...
You could be text
more
messaging.
stealthy.
If you have
know
a
what I mean?
phone,
Like,
you could just be text messaging, you know, or checking the weather. But if you got a Surface, then you're playing a damn game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but this way I could actually do some gaming at work because, like, I have, you know, the Galaxy Note 2. I've got games on there, but I don't ever play them. Not because I don't find time during my lunch break that I could be playing the game, but because I'm like, why play this? I'm not getting any achievements.
Yeah.
Achievement whore. It's not all about the achievements.
It is for me, dude. That's why I haven't played indie games on the 360. No achievements.
You're missing out.
I'm like, well, I mean, I have played some, but why play that?
Just can't come back to it.
Why do that when I could be getting achievements on Charlie Murder or Black Ops 2 or any game for that?
If that's all you care about, then yeah, I could see you wanting a Windows phone because that is the good part about it. But that's the only good part about it, man. And see, I'm just, you know, I rely too heavily on so many apps. Although we did get it, MLB finally.
Yeah,
finally, with half the features of all the other ones, but...
And you got Netflix and Hulu, which, when I'm on the go, when I watch something on my phone, it's usually a cartoon like Family Guy or American Dad. Like, I don't have an hour's worth of time to sit down and watch Game of Thrones while I'm at work. So HBO Go isn't a big deal for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for me...
Cartoons, I can sit down and watch 15 minutes at a time.
NBC Sports Live. I mean, there's just a lot of apps that I use that I can't get, and that's why I don't. And then the video, man. The daggone Xbox video.
Xbox video should be on there. I'll agree with you there. That's a problem.
Well, I mean, so should the other apps that are mega apps. I mean, even though you don't use them, there's thousands of people that do. They should be on there.
Yeah.
And the Xbox video thing, that's a problem. That's just
it's
stupid.
a problem. It's a problem.
But anyway, go ahead back with your review. We got into it.
Boom. So that one, yeah, that's just one small portion of the game with the Windows Phone. You press the back button to open up your inventory, and you can change the different pieces of your armor, which will each piece of armor has defense and something called anarchy, which I guess is supposed to be like a play on the word anarchy. And that is like no, it's like the word for magic.
Yeah.
In the game, the more anarchy you have, the more powerful your magic is. The more spells you can cast without running out. And there's a bunch of different ones, but each character has their own unique thing. Like Charlie Murder is the lead singer, so his thing is he'll like jump in the air and scream like a big giant banshee scream that'll like damage enemies, knock them out of the way. And you've got different types of screams. You got a scream that'll knock enemies back, a scream that'll deal just regular damage to them. You've got like an acid scream that'll like poison them and stuff like that. My son Solomon was playing as Rex, the big giant fat guy. He's the drummer. His magical move is he'll whip out some drums and start banging on the drums, and a bunch of crazy stuff will start flying out of the drums and hitting all the enemies around you. The art style is just terrific. There's so many different types of enemies in that game. You will fight zombies. Yeah. You will fight mutants. You will fight witches. You will fight giant hamburger men. You will fight hot dogs. You will fight werewolves. You will fight vampires. You will fight immortals. You will fight demons. You will fight devils. I mean, you will fight rats, cats. I mean, anything you could think of to possibly battle is in that game. All of the ninjas are in there. Oh, yeah. There's a ton of different areas where it breaks it up from the regular combat, and you'll be like flying on a witch's broom with a rocket launcher with unlimited ammo, just blasting away. Or you'll be like, walk up and you'll see a car, and it'll be like hit the button to jump in, and then you're just driving down the road mowing down zombies with your car, and then all of a sudden there'll be like a giant school bus full of ninjas like leaning out the school bus windows throwing stuff at you, and you just gotta keep ramming the back of the bus. There is just so much awesome stuff in that game. That is 5 frags all day for Charlie Murder. There is so much replayability in that game. It's like it is really like Castle Crashers. And there's even more of a reason to play it again, because after you beat the game, you can play through the whole game. Well, after you beat the game, you can go back to levels that you've all been to. There's like a world map, and it's just like Castle Crashers, where it's like different points, and your characters are little small people on the map, and you actually physically walk them from one point to another and select that area to transport there. Well, once you finish the game, you can keep going back and checking out those areas, looking for things that you missed. Or you can start the game back over on a harder difficulty and get more rare items that have more defense, better damage. My guy, his main weapon was his hands. So I would unlock like different knuckles, and like some knuckles would be like fire enchanted. So I'd be like hitting people with fire and acid. Man, there's just so much you could say about that game. But yeah, 5 frags, Charlie Murder, great game. Nice. Download it right away. 1,200 Microsoft points, $15.
Sold.
No, 800.
Is it?
Yeah, 800.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. Well, I was going to talk about Cloudberry Kingdom too, but I'm out of time. I actually have to get to work in like 10 minutes. So
Brothers.
Yeah. Again, full review on the website. You know, great game, unique controls. You control both brothers at the same time, one with each stick.
What's the premise?
The premise is you're looking for a cure for your dying father.
And your mother dies at the beginning of the game too?
Your mother dies at the beginning of the game by drowning in front of the youngest brother, which gives him a fear of water. So anytime you have to swim or go through water, he has to get on the bigger brother's back and go through, which kind of contributes to the ending a little bit, in a cool way. But I'm
sure he gets over his fear.
Simplest gameplay you'll ever see, as far as there's one action button for each brother's. Right trigger, left trigger. That's the whole game.
Very simple controls.
But simple is a key word there, because even though it's simple,
the controls definitely seem to confuse some people. People have commented on your review.
When you say simple controls, the layout is very simple. The controls
hard
to
master.
Simple. Okay. I mean, the puzzle of the whole game is the controls. That's what the whole game is about. Is can you do this and this with your finger at the same time?
I see.
Can you, like a lot of people say, it's the whole game is like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. Yeah. That's the whole game. You know, I mean, and that's right. You know, I had to keep the brother, the little brother on the right side and the big brother on the left side, but the game forces it the opposite way sometimes. And man, there's some mind-boggling things in there where you're like thinking and you're like, oh god, I gotta jump off here, let me think, what do I gotta do, but you know, you do get used to it, and it does get easier, and once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. But yeah, there is everybody has been like, you know, man, this is so daggone hard. It's almost like a tongue twister, but a brain twister. Anyway.
And there's puzzles that you have to solve as you go along.
Yeah, but the puzzles all revolve around that same premise.
Yeah. Do they get harder as you go?
Puzzles were all pretty simple to figure out. Yeah. I mean,
those achievements were a different story.
The achievements are a different story. The achievements you do not get from playing through the game. You can play through that entire game without getting a single achievement.
Yeah.
Without literally not get a single achievement. Not one achievement.
Well, what do they consist of?
They all secret things you find in the game or things you try. Because actually, when I was playing the game, P was like, "You only have one achievement. You can't be that far." I'm like, "Dude, I'm almost done."
Yeah.
And
what's the example of the rabbit changing in black?
Yeah. One of them is you walk through this area and there's a bunch of black bunny rabbits hopping around, and then a white bunny rabbit, and they're all avoiding them. You can just completely walk right on by and do it. They have nothing to do with anything.
Right.
But then I noticed that there was actually like a burnt out fire in the middle. So I picked up the bunny rabbit, walked over, dropped him in the burnt out fire, and the soot and ashes turned him black, and then I got an achievement for it. And then actually I got another achievement because I went all the way across the map and picked up a sheep and it took forever to carry him back to the other side of the map. Dropped him in it, and I got a black sheep achievement.
Nice.
But I saw the achievement title was like black sheep, or every family has a black sheep or something. So I was like, oh, it has to be something to do with it. Anyway, all like that, dude. All the achievements are like that. And man, it's just a phenomenal game, man. The story,
very original.
The story, it's all a made up language. And there's very little dialogue. But the dialogue is a made-up language. But most of it consists of and pointing. So all of the story is left to your imagination. But there, you get the premise. You know when he's pointing, or when he's feeling emotion, or when he hugs, or the sound effects. You know what they're feeling. And actually, there's one section again where a little girl's shooting basketball, and there's a well. And I grabbed the basketball, and she starts crying, she's like, she wants the basketball back. And then I ran over to the well and just dropped it in the well, and then she starts crying, and I got an achievement. I will say this, if you will take the time to figure out the achievements, it's the easiest perfect gamer score you'll ever get. So, anyway, 5 frags. Brothers, I really strongly felt like it was perfect.
Some of our arcades coming strong this year so far. We got Flashback coming out tomorrow. Be out when you hear this.
I don't give 5 frags lightly either, and this one just gets it. You know, it just does.
Well, lucky for you, there was no real dialogue, so voice acting wasn't really a factor, because we know that usually drops down your scores.
Yeah, I don't like subpar voice acting at all, but man, just the story was so emotional, and it was just, it was so deep, and you felt so connected. It was incredible, man. Anyway, Cloudberry Kingdom I'll talk about next show. I've been playing that. So. Nice.
For sure. All right, well, it's been a great show. As always, check out those apps. Check us out on Twitter at FragTag Radio and on the website at fragtagradio.com, and we will catch y'all on the flip side.
Send us a voicemail or a text at 304.
And on that new YouTube, come subscribe.
304 Talk FTR.
We need you.
Frag Radio.